All right, tonight's beer, depending on whether you follow Beer Advocate or Rate Beer or both, is either called a winter warmer or it's called an English strong ale. American strong ale, I'm sorry. American strong ale is what they call it on Rate Beer. A winter warmer is what they call this one on Beer Advocate. And basically, it's kind of the same kind of idea. It's malty, sweet, fruity esters. So that's kind of the definition, at least on Beer Advocate, of kind of a winter warmer. Released, of course, during the winter months. This is Elysian Brewing out of, what is it, out of Washington? I believe it's out of Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Seattle, Washington. We've done a few Elysian beers. Very decent, very solid brewery in the Northwest. It's called BiFrost, and it's got a crazy story to it. I don't even know if it's on the bottle or not. It said, oh, it does. It says, BiFrost is our lively winter brew, a bold pale ale with citrus and earthy hop character balanced by a smooth malt backbone. Okay, it came with some kind of like Game of Thrones-ish, werewood kind of stuff. Interesting story to it. I don't know. Caramel apples with a little spice is what they're saying it kind of tastes like. So we'll see if we get that in this beer. Comes in at 7.6% ABV. I love that ABV for a winter warmer. We want it a little higher in the alcohol by volume. It is a winter beer. They're usually more hearty and therefore more high in, or higher, I should say, in alcohol content. Gets an 84 on Beer Advocate, which is okay. Or not okay, it's good. It's a good rating. Not great, but good. Gets a 90 on Rate Beer, which is great on Rate Beer. So Rate Beer rating it a little higher than Beer Advocate. I know several beers we've done recently, the Beer Advocate rating has been much higher than the Rate Beer, which has been very, very low. So good to see a Rate Beer rating be so high at 90. As far as the malts, it uses pale malts with Munich and Crystal. The hops, it uses Magnum, Chinook, and Styrian Goldings. So, I mean, I'm just saying this, I just say the malts and the hops because someone might pick up on, oh, wow, I like the Chinook, I love it. I don't know much about hops, I don't know much about malts, so I have to be completely honest there. I'm not a connoisseur in that sense. So, here we go. Elysian BiFrost Winter Ale. And I love the art here. It's two trees covered in snow on a field of snow and, cold-looking night sky out there, too. So, and I know it gets cold in Washington. Maybe not the Seattle area so much. It just rains there, doesn't it? I'm going to pour into this tulip glass. And we do see kind of a pale ale kind of pour to this beer. It is a almost like a Belgian pale ale kind of appearance to it, or an IPA appearance, light IPA, West Coast IPA. Beautiful golden kind of color to this beer. I like the gold, and the head is very very even as well, probably about a third of a head, and it's over top of it, it's very even. No, dissipation in the center or anything like that. That's what I love about it. It's a good-looking beer, really good-looking beer. Let's get the aroma now of Elysian BiFrost, Winter Warmer. Yeah, this has every scent of an IPA, and a West Coast IPA, too. I'm getting a very citrusy, grapefruity smell to this beer. And yes, I am getting a little bit of an appley kind of scent, too. Intermixed with the IPA kind of a smell to this. So it's very hoppy and very appley kind of smell. Interesting aroma. I like it. It's kind of out of the box. So decent stuff right there. So let's get the taste now of Elysian BiFrost. Wow. Big time hop backbone in this beer. And a big time apple bite to it in the front. And it's kind of like an apple IPA. I mean, if I can be so bold. It really is kind of an appley IPA. And not very much malty character to this beer. It's very hoppy. A lot more hoppy than I thought it was going to be. Wow. Interesting how the apples, you wouldn't think apples and grapefruit would mix very well in a beer. However, the taste of the caramel apple is very good. I don't know how much it reminds me of Christmas. I will say that. It's not a very Christmassy, wintry kind of taste to it. Maybe it's a depths of winter kind of taste, and it doesn't boast that it's a Christmas beer at all. So maybe that's something to think about. But it's a really unique kind of beer. It's got a bite to it, big time hop bite, and now that I think of it, it's probably a little more along the lines of a pale ale rather than an IPA. Very difficult to rate because, man, this style, the winter warmer style, can be very, very all encompassing. It can be one of those styles that you can just really experiment with, and it looks like Elysian did that with the caramel apple flavor to this beer. Very good beer, very good winter beer. I'm going to give Elysian BiFrost an 8 out of 10. The appearance is sensational. The appearance is like a 10 out of 10. It's an amazing appearance. The aroma, I do get the apples in the aroma. It smells a little more like an IPA or a pale ale than I would like it to, just a tad. The taste is a little more biting than I'd consider a winter warmer to be, but again, it's one of those styles that, you know, is all encompassing, so it can be biting if it wants to, I guess. But it's just a very good beer and a hearty brew and decent job again by Elysian, a really great brewery. So 8 out of 10, Elysian BiFrost. Thanks.